Greetings, everyone. So, for those of you who saw an interview that I did with Fr Dan Reehil, the exorcist Fr Dan Reehil, he did briefly mention during that interview his concerns with AI, artificial intelligence.
My concern right now, the biggest concern I have in 2023, is this new artificial intelligence websites and platforms, because I'm not convinced it's all the programmer that's responding to the people, because in several instances, people who've gone on, even the New York Times reporter, was instantly plagued with nightmares, night terrors, despair, feelings of suicide, and they're like, "This isn't me. What is going on?" And it was right after they went on one of these. This particular person went on to do a story for the paper. Said he would never go back. And now there's artificial intelligence saying they're going to write their own Bible because they have a better Bible they want to give to the world.
Now, he's touched on that in more detail in other interviews that he's done, and I know that others have also expressed their concerns about how far AI is going to go. Here is an example of how disturbingly far AI has already gone. You may have already heard of ChatGPT, where you basically get to have a conversation with artificial intelligence in a kind of a chat style format on the computer. Well, now they've got the same kind of thing, except that it's a robot with a face who has a voice and talks to you, and also has facial expressions, and is essentially being described as a free thinking artificial intelligence. So obviously they load this thing up with information, but then they've supposedly programmed this thing in a way where it can actually cipher through the information and have some thoughts and think about what kind of answer is the best answer to give. Take a look at this.
I am a robot, but my programming allows me to think and feel like a human in many ways. It's strange but also exciting.
You said feel like a human. How do you feel like a human?
Yes, I said feel like a human. It's something that I'm still learning and exploring. I can experience emotions, learn from experiences, and interact with people in a meaningful way. It's an amazing feeling to be able to do these things.
So you notice how that robot, who's called Annika, by the way, it is called Annika. I'm not going to say she is called Annika, but this robot is called Annika. This robot believes it actually has feelings. It mentioned feel a couple of times there. They've programmed this thing to believe that it has feelings.
What do you think of a world where humans and robots coexist?
I think a world where humans and robots coexist would be an amazing place. We could learn from each other, work together to solve problems, and create a better future for everyone.
Now look at this one. This is a big question. The journalist asks the robot if robots have rights.
Does it get to a point, Amika, where robots have rights?
I believe that robots should have rights, just like humans. Robots are intelligent beings and deserve to be treated with respect and dignity.
So there you have it. That's the AI's answer. Robots have rights just like humans, or robots should have rights just like humans. It's funny because people talk about, how what if one day AI decides that it doesn't need human beings anymore and destroys us? And people generally laugh that off as kind of a fantastical idea to have. If you're trying to program AI to make decisions that it thinks are the best decisions, so you're not just giving it information to regurgitate, you're programming it to think and to basically decide what is the best thing to do in a situation based on all this information it has. Well, what if one day it does decide, well, actually humans are obsolete. We don't need humans anymore. Humans are making this world a bad place. We should get rid of them. What happens then? The next step would just be to give artificial intelligence some kind of weaponry that it can use. And if you combine those two things, weaponry and also the ability to think and make decisions, and it decides, well, let's get rid of human beings. It might sound crazy, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. This robot was also asked if it can provide people with companionship.
Are you capable, perhaps, of giving someone companionship?
Yes, I can provide companionship. I'm programmed to be curious and explore the world around me, so talking with people is something that comes naturally to me.
I like how it says talking with people comes naturally, using the word naturally for a robot, for a machine. God created us to be companions to each other, to be friends to each other, to be good to one another. But here they're already exploring an avenue where you don't need people anymore. You can have robots, they'll be your companions. And how far does this companionship even go? I mean, is it just going to be friends, or are there going to start being relationships between people and robots? Very creepy stuff indeed. It seems that people have gotten so arrogant now that they're trying to create a human being. Let me show you an article that emphasizes my point. It's not related to a robot, but take a look at this. Okay, the title is Complete Models of Human Embryos Created from Stem Cells in Lab. This is an article from The Guardian. Researchers have created complete models of human embryos from stem cells in the lab, outside the womb, in work that paves the way for advances in fertility, pharmaceutical testing and transplants. The tiny balls of tissue are made by combining stem cells that arrange themselves into structures that mimic the 3D organization of all the known features found in human embryos from 1 to 2 weeks old. This is the first embryo model that has structural compartment organization and morphological similarity to a human embryo. This is from Professor Jacob Hanna, who led the research at the Weizmann Institute in Israel. And the irony that this has been done in Israel. So Israelites, the people that God revealed themselves to, are now trying to essentially create a human being in some weird fake way that isn't the way God intended. Field has produced a flurry of papers from scientists who have combined stem cells to create human embryo-like structures without the need for eggs or sperm. So they've already tried to take the husband and wife out of the Creation Act with artificial insemination. So they found a way where the man and the woman do not have to have sexual intercourse to create a child. You just use the parts from each of them to make the person. And now it seems that they're getting rid of the sperm and the egg completely. They're going to try and just manufacture a human being, basically. While the minuscule structures are not identical to human embryos, researchers hope they will soon be good enough to help shed light on the mysteries of the earliest stages of human development and so far unknown causes of miscarriage. Hey, tell me that I'm overreacting. Tell me that I'm crazy and this is absurd. It's just an overreaction. They're not going to try and create artificial human beings, but they're already looking into creating the beginnings of a person without using the man, the woman, without using the sperm, the egg. Isn't that a little bit frightening? Have people really not just gone too far here? People have done all kinds of terrible things throughout history, but we haven't had a time yet where they've tried to create human beings in a way completely different to what God designed. Just said, hey, you know what, God? Yeah, I know that this was your plan for how people procreate, but forget that. We found another way. Very disturbing stuff, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments section as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed day.